Hey guys, welcome to episode 1. We are diving deep into a conversation about self-discovery and speaking of truth and what that means and how that looks. So I hope that you enjoy it. It's the very first podcast, so bear with me. I'm still learning, but enjoy. Feel free to drop any comments, subscribe, and I hope you enjoy. Thanks guys. I firstly want to touch on one of the defining factors, which is being brave enough to change that negative talk in your head so that your truth isn't something that is completely not true, if that makes sense. So, your truth might be, I am fat, I'm old, I'm wrinkly, I'm dumb, I'm such a loser. It could be that. And I'm here to say it's not. And those are the truths that you've been told or you've been convinced of by society or by your own inner voice for whatever reason. And a lot of the time your inner voice is actually a lot of other people's voices that you've learnt to listen to and have now taken on as your own. Along comes eating disorders and, self-harm and depression and suicide and all those sort of things because of people's inner voices and their inner truth and what they think is true to them because they believe that little voice inside their head is actually speaking the truth. I want to hit on this because this is something that is quite close to home. Being a mother of 3 beautiful children, raising 2 beautiful girls and a son, you really do have to watch what you say and watch how you are. And, throughout my time of being a young mum, a mother at 17, I have had to grow up very quickly, but also grow up with my children, especially my eldest. She's now 16 years old, and I remember being her age and falling pregnant and 9 months later having her. And it's a little bit scary looking down the barrel of what could be for her. And I know deep down inside that I have worked really hard with her to have a little bit more sense than I did at her age. And even though I have 0 regrets for the life that I chose at the time, at the end of the day, you don't want your children to have to make the same mistakes as you. And sometimes we do. Sometimes we make the same mistakes as our parents, sometimes we don't. But in saying all of that, the reason why it is so important to adjust and redefine your inner voice so that you can then have a true reflection of you in your own mind so you can truly speak your truth, is because the people that surround you and love you are listening. So for me, my kids inspired me to really start to dig deep on what is my truth, how I speak to myself, what I think of myself, and how I feel about myself and the things around me. So that I wasn't passing down some really bullshit fucking things to my kids like, I'm fat, I'm ugly, I've got stretch marks, so gross. Now I have done some damage already because obviously I'm only like 33 and I'm still learning, and my kid's already 17. She's probably already got like a ton of passed down trauma and issues from me. Sorry in advance. The reality of it is that you can't get it right. There's no manual for parenting, but all you can do is try. And here I am wanting to share with you some of the things that maybe you can do to yourself that might help you along the way when you become a parent or when you're influencing other people around you, so that you understand how you see yourself and what you say to yourself, and what you emanate to the world is the expectation and almost the truth that you preach and that you say is kind of like the benchmark. So if I'm standing around and I'm saying, oh, I'm so fat, oh man, I'm so ugly today, look at me, oh, I've got like stretch marks, blah, blah, blah. And in actual fact, someone else is looking at me going, but I think you're beautiful. I'm bigger than you. I've got stretch marks too. You're kind of already saying well, that's not good enough. You're ugly, you're fat, and you're covered in stretch marks. That truth is not real. Speaking that truth about yourself is not what we're talking about. We're not talking about the self-doubt in your mind, even though a lot of it is, in fact, some people's truths for themselves. I'm trying to rewire and help you understand that that is not your defining factor. They are insecurities that we all tend to sort of stumble into in our lifetime. We all struggle with. To this very day, I have stretch marks. It's unavoidable. I'm a woman with 3 kids. I don't necessarily love my body, but I also, in the last 6 months, have learned to really embrace it and feel more beautiful than I've ever felt in my whole life. I'm not skinny and I don't want to be. I'm not fit, even though I want to be. I'm just me. And I'm learning to love every inch of me, and I'm learning to emanate that I love myself. And all it is more positive talk in my head. I get dressed in the morning and instead of saying, oh God, you look fat, or oh God, you really need to put some makeup on, you look terrible. I'm looking good. I feel good. I'm beautiful. Adjusting that negative talk in your head for whatever it is, whether it be anything. It could be your body image. I'm using that as a really simple example, but it goes deeper than that. Sometimes negative talk goes way deeper than what you're feeling about your physical exterior thing. It could be real deep, right? Whatever that negative voice inside your head is saying to you today, whatever you have decided to believe in your mind about yourself today, I want you to really ask yourself, where did that come from? Is that true? Or is that just an opinion? Something that's been spoken over you, something that's been said, something that you've adopted from your mother or your father or their father and mother before them, because that's the opinion of what we or you or it is. Where does it come from? What's its origin? Finding out the origin of your truth, the thing that's in your mind and your heart and how you feel about yourself, that's the body of work you got to do. Because that's where you identify, is this even my truth? Or is it the truth of like 3 generations before me that I've just somehow adopted? And if that's the case, that's where we go into redefining our truth. And that's the body of work that has to occur before you can even really fully, comfortably, 100% express your truth. You can do your truth speaking, and you can do your truth emanating, and you can do your manifestation, and you can do all this inner work, and it's a lifetime of work, mind you. Like, I am certainly not at the point where I am fully 100% full confident, fully ready to go, know all the answers to everything. I know nothing. All I know is what I know and what I've experienced, and all I know is what's worked for me. So here I am with you today saying, can you identify your inner voice, and what is your inner voice saying to you today? And do you really think that that's the truth of you? Or is it time to redefine your truth? Now, there's a few steps that you can go through. Some people go to counselors and psychologists like I did, where they can go back in time and have a look at their childhood and really dig deep and do all of that. I think I am a massive supporter of investing in your mental health, first and foremost. Whether it be a social worker, a counselor, a psychologist, a psychiatrist, a life coach, sometimes a psychic, it doesn't matter who it is. It's whoever empowers you to do the body of work. So find your person, think about going on this journey, digging deep, take some notes about what your inner voice is saying to you today, and make a decision on whether that's what's going to define you, or are you ready to redefine your voice? Thanks, guys. I'll speak to you soon.